In our world of constant noise and endless to-do lists, finding a moment of quiet can feel nearly impossible. Picture this. You're sitting in a bustling cafe or scrolling through endless notifications, all while juggling a list of things you haven't yet crossed off. Amid all of this, there's a sense of disconnection from your own thoughts, from your emotions, from the deeper essence of who you are. You're not alone in feeling this way. We live in a time when silence is rare, and as a result, we're often distanced from the inner peace we all crave. The Art of Inner Stillness, Finding Peace in a World of Noise, written and published by Mindful Literary, is a journey back to that place within where calm and clarity reside. Inner stillness is more than just silence. It's that space inside each of us where we feel truly grounded, centered, and connected to our authentic selves. In a world that constantly pulls us outward, inner stillness reminds us that peace and balance are found within. This book was created to explore why inner stillness matters so much today. It delves into the psychology and physiology of distraction, examining how external noise impacts not only our peace of mind, but also our physical well-being. Throughout this journey, we'll uncover the transformative power of stillness and learn practical methods to bring moments of calm back into our lives. From mindfulness to emotional clarity to creating sacred spaces, each chapter is a step toward reclaiming the stillness that grounds us. In each chapter, you'll find insights, exercises, and reflections designed to guide you closer to a life rooted in calm and authenticity. So, as we embark on this journey together, I invite you to approach each page with an open mind and heart, treating this process as a series of stepping stones leading to a more centered, peaceful, and connected version of yourself. Chapter 1. Why we crave stillness in a noisy world. In today's fast-paced world, finding even a moment of stillness can feel like a luxury. From the moment we wake up, we're bombarded with stimuli, notifications on our phones, constant news updates, emails demanding our attention. Our lives are filled with endless streams of information, all vying for a piece of our already fragmented focus. This relentless noise doesn't just affect our attention, it fundamentally impacts our mental health and well-being. We are wired for connection and interaction, yet our minds were not designed to handle the level of stimulation we now face daily. Studies show that constant overstimulation keeps us in a state of fight or flight, an evolutionary response originally meant for physical threats. When our brains are constantly activated by notifications and pressures, our stress hormones, like cortisol, remain elevated. Over time, this heightened state takes a toll on our mental and physical health, contributing to anxiety, depression, insomnia, and even physical ailments like headaches and muscle tension. The fight or flight response in a digital age. Our fight or flight response is a powerful, innate mechanism designed to protect us from immediate danger. Imagine our ancestors facing a wild animal. Their senses would heighten, adrenaline would surge, and their bodies would prepare to flee or fight. Today, however, the threats we face aren't physical, they're digital, emotional, and constant. Each alert, each demand, each new piece of information can activate this response, keeping us on high alert even though there's no real danger. This overstimulated state has profound effects on our mental clarity. When our attention is constantly pulled in different directions, it becomes harder to focus deeply, to be creative, or to process emotions fully. Our minds jump from one thought to another, making it difficult to truly rest. This scattered attention fragments our thinking, which affects everything from productivity to memory to emotional resilience. The psychology of noise and its impact on well-being. Noise isn't just physical sound. It's anything that disrupts our mental and emotional peace. Social media is one of the biggest sources of modern noise, with each post, message, and like providing a quick dopamine hit, a reward that keeps us coming back. Studies show that these small hits of dopamine create addictive cycles, where we crave the next notification or scroll to feel stimulated. This creates a loop of external dependency that makes it challenging to experience inner stillness. Constant engagement with this noise leads to overstimulation, which causes symptoms like irritability, anxiety, and mental fatigue. When we are constantly switched on, we rarely take the time to sit with our own thoughts or to reflect on our lives. Instead, we seek distraction, as if the quiet itself is something to be avoided. Inner stillness, a necessity, not a luxury. In such a noisy world, inner stillness becomes not just a luxury, but a necessity. This isn't about withdrawing from life or becoming passive. Rather, It's about finding a grounded place within ourselves where we can reset and recharge. Inner stillness provides a space where we can reconnect with our thoughts, emotions, and intentions without the interference of external demands. Research supports the profound benefits of stillness on mental and emotional well-being. Practicing stillness, even a few minutes a day, can reduce cortisol levels, lower blood pressure, and improve heart rate variability, which is a marker of emotional resilience. Studies on mindfulness and meditation also show that regular practice increases gray matter density in the brain, which is associated with improved emotional regulation, memory, and mental clarity. The benefits extend to creativity as well. When the mind has space to breathe and process, ideas flow more naturally, and problem-solving becomes easier. Emotional resilience, the ability to handle stress, adapt to challenges, and recover from setbacks, also improves with regular practice of stillness, as it provides us with the tools to process emotions rather than react impulsively to them. The call for stillness. Inner stillness doesn't have to mean silence. It's about creating a space of calm within, where we can pause, reflect, and reconnect with ourselves. The beauty of inner stillness is that it's available to us at any moment. It doesn't require an elaborate setup or hours of meditation. Stillness can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths, going for a walk without your phone, or simply sitting quietly and observing your thoughts without judgment. In a world that constantly pulls us outward, cultivating inner stillness is a profound act of self-care and self-preservation. Each moment of stillness we embrace strengthens our ability to live fully and purposefully, even in a noisy world. The more we learn to tune out the noise, the more we reconnect with our true selves, finding a clarity and peace that transcends the chaos around us. Chapter 2. The Science of Mindfulness and Presence. In a world filled with distractions and constant mental chatter, mindfulness offers a path back to the present moment. It is the art of being fully here, aware, attentive, and engaged with what's happening now, rather than consumed by thoughts of the past or worries about the future. Science shows us that mindfulness is more than a wellness trend. It has a measurable impact on our brains, emotions, and overall health. But mindfulness is not new. Its roots stretch back centuries, embraced by diverse cultures and philosophies seeking inner calm and clarity. The science of mindfulness, how it affects the brain and body. Mindfulness, in essence, is about anchoring the mind in the present. Research shows that mindfulness reduces stress, improves focus, and helps us feel more grounded. When we practice mindfulness, we shift from our brain's default mode network, where the mind often wanders, leading to anxiety or rumination, into a state of intentional focus. Studies using MRI scans show that regular mindfulness practice can actually change the brain, increasing the density of gray matter in areas associated with learning, memory, and emotional regulation. Mindfulness also decreases activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center, responsible for our fight-or-flight response. This means that over time, mindfulness helps us respond to stressors more calmly, enhancing our emotional resilience. With repeated practice, we can learn to observe our thoughts without judgment, reducing the grip of anxiety and increasing our sense of calm. By grounding ourselves in the present, mindfulness breaks the cycle of endless mental chatter, creating space for inner peace. A brief history of mindfulness in diverse cultures. The concept of mindfulness has roots in various spiritual and philosophical traditions. In Zen Buddhism, mindfulness is a fundamental practice known as zazen, or seated meditation. Practitioners sit in silence, focusing on their breath, a practice that brings awareness to the present moment. Zen teachings emphasize beginner's mind, approaching each moment without preconceived notions or judgments, allowing one to experience life with clarity and openness. In ancient Greece, the Stoics practiced a form of mindfulness that focused on self-control, emotional resilience, and the importance of living in harmony with nature. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus emphasized being present and rational, learning to observe life without getting carried away by fleeting emotions. Stoicism teaches us to respond to life's challenges with calmness and integrity, skills that resonate deeply with modern mindfulness practices. In Hinduism, mindfulness is interwoven with practices like yoga and meditation, designed to cultivate awareness of both the mind and body. The Bhagavad Gita, an ancient Hindu text, speaks of finding peace through self-discipline, detachment from outcomes, and focus on the present, a philosophy that echoes in mindfulness teachings. From Buddhist monasteries to Greek academies, these practices of mindfulness and presence were cultivated long before the term became popular in Western psychology. This timeless need to live consciously highlights that people throughout history have grappled with finding balance and calm amidst life's challenges. Real-life examples of finding inner peace through mindfulness. Today, people from all walks of life use mindfulness to manage stress, overcome anxiety, and reconnect with themselves. Take Jon Kabat-Zinn, a professor and pioneer of mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR. In the late 1970s, Kabat-Zinn began introducing mindfulness to patients suffering from chronic pain and stress. By teaching them to observe their thoughts and feelings without judgment, he helped them reduce their pain and anxiety. His work has since inspired countless studies, all showing the effectiveness of mindfulness for mental and physical health. Or consider the story of Serena Williams, the world-renowned tennis player, who attributes her mental resilience on the court to mindfulness. In the high-stakes world of professional sports, Williams uses meditation and mindfulness techniques to stay calm and focused. By grounding herself in the present moment, she tunes out distractions and maintains her composure, even in the face of intense pressure. This mental training allows her to excel under stress, using mindfulness as a tool for clarity and performance. In another example, a middle-aged business executive named Sarah struggled with chronic stress and insomnia due to her demanding job. She turned to mindfulness meditation as a last resort, initially skeptical but desperate for relief. Over time, she noticed that mindfulness helped her observe her stress instead of reacting to it. Her nights improved, her anxiety decreased, and she found a renewed sense of joy in her work and personal life. Sarah's journey underscores how mindfulness can transform daily experiences, helping people navigate life with more calm and purpose. Mindfulness as a path to inner peace. Mindfulness offers more than just stress relief. It allows us to experience life in a fuller, more meaningful way. When we are mindful, we are able to engage with each moment as it unfolds, finding beauty in small details. A warm cup of tea, the feel of sunshine on our skin, or a conversation with a friend. Mindfulness brings us back to ourselves, allowing us to experience a state of inner stillness even as life moves around us. As you journey deeper into this book, consider each moment of mindfulness as a gift of presence. It's not about erasing thoughts or achieving perfection, but about learning to witness life from a place of awareness and compassion. Mindfulness is both an art and a science, a tool that has withstood the test of time and continues to help people reconnect with the quiet, calm presence within. In a world that seems to be moving faster each day, mindfulness is an anchor, grounding us in what truly matters, the here and now. Chapter 3: The Internal Noise, Thoughts, Worries, and the Busy Mind. When we think of noise, we often picture the external sounds of daily life, conversations, traffic, notifications pinging on our devices. Yet some of the loudest noise we encounter is internal, created by our own minds. This internal noise, the constant stream of thoughts, worries, and self-criticism, can be even more distracting than any sounds around us. Our minds, constantly generating ideas, rehashing conversations, and forecasting future outcomes, rarely allow us to experience stillness. This internal noise isn't just a random occurrence. It's a result of deeply ingrained mental habits, amplified by our modern world. In this chapter, we'll examine the roots of internal noise, why our minds get stuck in cycles of unproductive thinking, and how to start managing this noise by observing and quieting the mind. The source of internal noise: worries, self-criticism, and mental chatter. Think back to the last time you lay awake at night, mind racing with worries about the day ahead, or replaying a past conversation you wished had gone differently. These are prime examples of internal noise. Our minds are filled with unending dialogue, thoughts about ourselves, our relationships, our goals, and even things far beyond our control. This mental chatter becomes a barrier between us and our peace, creating a cycle of constant distraction and anxiety. One major source of internal noise is self-criticism. Many of us have an internal critic, a voice that nitpicks at our actions, appearance, or abilities. This critic's constant presence not only undermines our confidence, but also keeps us from focusing on the present, as we become entangled in our own judgments. When we're constantly evaluating ourselves, it becomes nearly impossible to experience peace. Worries about the future and ruminations on the past are other common culprits of mental noise. We often replay events, trying to find a sense of control or understanding, Yet this repetitive thinking rarely brings clarity. Instead, it keeps us stuck in loops of unproductive thought, draining our energy and attention. The psychology behind mental noise, rumination, and cognitive overload. Psychologists refer to the habit of repetitive, often negative thinking as rumination. Rumination occurs when we dwell on events, problems, or perceived failures without reaching a resolution. Rather than helping us process these experiences, rumination actually heightens our stress, deepening feelings of anxiety and even depression. Think of rumination as a broken record in the mind. It plays the same thoughts over and over, with no escape or closure. Another factor contributing to internal noise is cognitive overload. Cognitive overload happens when we try to process more information than our minds can handle at once. With our fast-paced, information-rich lifestyles, our minds are often flooded with thoughts, tasks, and stimuli. This overload scatters our attention, making it difficult to focus on any one thing and adding to our mental fatigue. When rumination and cognitive overload combine, they create a mental environment filled with noise, where even small challenges feel overwhelming. Our thoughts become cluttered, and we lose our ability to see clearly, trapped in cycles of worry, self-criticism, and doubt. Exercises to observe and manage internal noise. Understanding that much of our internal noise stems from habits and psychological patterns gives us a path forward. We can begin to manage this noise by bringing awareness to our thoughts and introducing simple practices to quiet the mind. Number 1. The Thought Inventory Exercise. Take a few minutes each day to write down your thoughts, especially the ones that keep repeating. This thought inventory allows you to see patterns in your thinking. Are there recurring worries? Self-critical thoughts? By putting these thoughts on paper, you can begin to notice how much mental space they occupy and recognize any repetitive or negative cycles. Try this in the evening as a way to offload thoughts before bedtime, or in the morning to start your day with a clear mind. Number 2. Mindfulness journaling. In mindfulness journaling, you don't write with a goal of figuring things out. Instead, you simply observe and document your thoughts and emotions as they are. Without judgment, write down whatever comes to mind. This practice helps you detach from the content of your thoughts, allowing you to see them as passing mental events rather than as reflections of reality. This exercise helps us develop a watcher perspective, where we can witness thoughts without being controlled by them, bringing moments of clarity and stillness. Number 3. Practicing thought labeling. Thought labeling is a mindfulness technique where you label your thoughts as they arise. For example, when you notice a thought about tomorrow's work meeting, label it future worry. When you catch yourself thinking about a mistake you made, label it self-criticism. By labeling thoughts, you create distance between yourself and the thought, making it easier to see it for what it is, just a thought. Practicing this regularly helps you become more aware of the different types of internal noise you experience and can lessen the hold these thoughts have over you. Number 4. The 5-4-3-2-1 Grounding Technique. When mental chatter feels overwhelming, the 5-4-3-2-1 technique can help bring you back to the present. Look around and identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This simple exercise shifts your attention from your thoughts to your sensory experience, breaking the loop of repetitive thinking and grounding you in the present moment. Number 5. Setting quiet times for your mind. Designate specific times during your day to step away from mental noise. During these times, avoid distractions, set aside worries, and simply allow yourself to be present. These quiet times could be as short as 5 minutes, where you sit in silence or engage in a calming activity. The key is to practice being without the need for stimulation, creating space for stillness in your day. The journey to quieting the mind. Internal noise will never fully disappear, and that's okay. The goal is not to silence our thoughts, but to learn how to observe them without getting swept away. As you practice observing and managing your mental chatter, you'll gradually cultivate a sense of calm amidst the noise. You'll notice that many of the thoughts that once felt urgent lose their power when you simply observe them without judgment. Through awareness, journaling, and mindfulness, you can learn to quiet the mind and make room for inner peace. This journey takes time and patience, but with each practice, you'll build a greater ability to find stillness within, even as thoughts come and go. Learning to manage internal noise is a foundational step toward inner peace. By facing our thoughts directly, we reclaim control over our mental landscape. In this space of awareness, we find clarity and, ultimately, the freedom to experience life without the constant interference of internal noise. Chapter 4: Emotional Clutter: How Unresolved Emotions Disrupt Stillness. While we may think of clutter as physical, emotional clutter, unresolved feelings like anger, guilt, or fear can be just as disruptive, if not more so. These emotions, often unprocessed or ignored, create a subtle but constant background noise in our minds. They manifest as tension, anxiety, or a vague sense of unrest, and they can keep us from experiencing true calm. This chapter explores how unresolved emotions contribute to mental clutter and shares practical techniques to help recognize, process, and release these emotions, making space for inner stillness. The disruptive power of emotional clutter. Imagine an old memory that still feels raw, like a heated argument with a loved one or a mistake that you deeply regret. Even if these experiences are years in the past, their emotional residue lingers. Unresolved emotions can accumulate over time, like emotional debris that clutters the mind. Just as a room filled with physical clutter can create stress, our emotional clutter weighs us down, taking up mental and emotional space. Anger, for instance, is a powerful emotion that, when suppressed, doesn't just disappear. Instead, it can transform into irritability, frustration, or resentment that affects our relationships and inner peace. Guilt and shame can also be emotionally taxing, often replaying in our minds like a broken record, leading to self-criticism and a sense of unworthiness. Fear, too, can become an almost constant background noise, influencing our choices and reinforcing a cycle of avoidance. These emotions don't just passively exist within us. They demand attention and create tension, preventing us from feeling at ease. By understanding and addressing these emotions, we can begin to clear the emotional clutter that disrupts our stillness. Stories of emotional clutter and how it manifests. Consider the story of Rachel, who, after a difficult breakup, tried to move on quickly without truly processing her feelings. She distracted herself with work and socializing, but over time, her suppressed sadness and resentment began to surface. Even simple tasks became overwhelming, and she found herself feeling drained and restless. Rachel's emotional clutter, left unaddressed, became a constant hum of tension that she couldn't ignore. Or take the example of Michael, a successful executive with unresolved guilt over a past decision that had hurt a friend. Rather than addressing his feelings, he pushed them aside, believing that what's done is done. But his guilt manifested as self-doubt and anxiety, seeping into his daily life and causing a subtle but persistent mental unease. These stories illustrate how emotional clutter can take different forms, whether as sadness, guilt, or regret, and how it disrupts mental peace when left unresolved. In many cases, the first step toward emotional stillness is acknowledging and releasing these emotions, even if it means facing uncomfortable truths. Techniques for recognizing, processing, and releasing emotional clutter. Emotional clutter can be managed, but it requires awareness and a willingness to engage with one's feelings rather than avoid them. Here are some therapeutic techniques that can help clear emotional clutter and make room for inner stillness. 1. Mindful observation of emotions. One of the first steps in addressing emotional clutter is learning to observe emotions without judgment. Often we resist certain feelings because they're uncomfortable or because we label them as negative. Mindful observation, a technique used in mindfulness meditation, encourages us to simply notice our emotions without trying to change them. For example, if you feel anger, rather than trying to push it away, observe it. Notice where you feel it in your body, how it affects your breathing, and any thoughts that arise along with it. By observing emotions in this way, you create distance, allowing the emotion to surface without being consumed by it. Number 2. Journaling for emotional clarity. Writing is a powerful way to explore unresolved emotions. Set aside time to journal about any emotions that feel heavy or recurrent. Try to trace them back to their source. When did you first feel this way, and what experiences triggered it? Journaling can help uncover patterns, showing you which emotions might be tied to specific events or beliefs. A simple journaling prompt for this exercise might be, what emotions have been weighing on me recently, and where do they come from? Reflecting in this way allows you to identify the roots of your emotional clutter and gain clarity on what needs to be addressed. Number 3. Emotional release exercises. Emotions are energy, and they need to be expressed. Emotional release exercises can include anything from physical movement, like dancing or running, to vocal expression, such as speaking out loud or singing. Allowing yourself to express emotions physically can help release pent-up energy, especially for emotions like anger or frustration. For example, if you're feeling angry, you might find release through punching a pillow, going for a run, or even practicing deep, controlled breathing. Similarly, sadness might be expressed through crying or allowing yourself to feel vulnerable without holding back. Emotional release exercises create space for feelings to be processed and released in a safe way. Number 4. Self-compassion meditation. Sometimes emotional clutter builds up because we are harsh with ourselves, holding on to feelings of guilt, regret, or shame. Practicing self-compassion can help us let go of these feelings by treating ourselves with the same kindness we would offer a friend. One way to practice self-compassion is through a simple meditation. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and picture yourself as a small child. Imagine offering that child kindness, love, and acceptance. Acknowledge that the child made mistakes, but is still worthy of love. This exercise can help soften feelings of guilt and shame, creating emotional relief and helping to clear emotional clutter. Number 5. Visualization for letting go. Visualization can be a powerful tool for emotional release. Imagine your emotional clutter as physical objects, stones or leaves, that you carry with you. Visualize yourself gently releasing them, watching them float away down a river or drift off into the sky. This imagery can reinforce the intention of letting go and create a sense of emotional lightness. Another visualization exercise involves imagining your heart or mind as a room. Picture yourself cleaning out this room, dusting off old memories, and gently letting go of items that no longer serve you. Visualizing the act of release can create a tangible sense of emotional freedom. The gift of releasing emotional clutter. As we release emotional clutter, we create space within ourselves to experience calm, clarity, and connection. Unresolved emotions don't just fade on their own. They need acknowledgement and care. By actively processing and releasing these emotions, we honor our inner selves and create a more peaceful mental landscape. Emotional clarity is a pathway to inner stillness. When we let go of pent-up feelings, we no longer carry the weight of unresolved tension or pain. We free ourselves to experience life as it unfolds, with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. Clearing emotional clutter is a powerful act of self-care that opens the door to mental and emotional freedom. Remember, this process doesn't happen overnight. Just as physical clutter accumulates over time, emotional clutter may take time and patience to clear. But each step forward is a step closer to a life lived in peace and authenticity. By making space for stillness, we allow ourselves to be present, grounded, and genuinely connected to the moment. And in that presence, we find the inner peace we've been seeking all along. Chapter 5. Embracing Mindful Breathing, the Gateway to Stillness. Mindful breathing is one of the simplest yet most powerful tools for cultivating inner calm and stillness. It is a practice that requires no special equipment, no quiet room, and no extensive training. It's something we carry with us at every moment, and it has the power to bring us back to the present, reduce stress, and connect us to ourselves in profound ways. In this chapter, we'll explore how mindful breathing activates the body's natural relaxation response and share stories of people who have found solace and clarity through the art of breathing. Mindful breathing, a natural relaxation response. When we're anxious or stressed, our body's natural response is to breathe quickly and shallowly, which actually signals to the brain that we're in danger. Mindful breathing, however, allows us to slow down and regulate our breath, which sends a different message to the brain, that we're safe and can relax. Deep, intentional breathing stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the body, reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and brings us back to a balanced state. Through mindful breathing, we can disrupt the body's stress response and shift into a state of relaxation. The beauty of mindful breathing is its accessibility. Whether you're at work, in a crowded place, or alone at home, this simple practice can ground you and help you find inner peace in the midst of external chaos. Let's explore some real-life stories that illustrate how transformative mindful breathing can be. Stories of transformation through breath. Consider the story of Anna, a high school teacher in a busy city. Her days were filled with back-to-back classes, crowded hallways, and constant demands from students and parents. She often found herself overwhelmed and unable to focus, constantly pulled in different directions. After attending a workshop on mindful breathing, she started using a simple technique, taking 5 deep breaths before each class. With each breath, she felt her anxiety decrease and her focus sharpened. Anna began to notice that her interactions with students improved as well, as she was more present and grounded, able to listen and respond with calmness. Then there's Marcus, an entrepreneur who juggles a packed schedule and the pressures of running a startup. His workdays are filled with high-stakes meetings, deadlines, and the need to make quick decisions. He started practicing box breathing, a breathing technique we'll discuss in a moment, as a way to anchor himself before important meetings. This practice helped him reduce his stress levels and approach challenges with clarity. Over time, Marcus noticed he was more resilient and less reactive, giving him a competitive edge in his fast-paced environment. These stories show how mindful breathing can be woven into daily routines to create moments of calm, focus, and connection. By incorporating mindful breathing, we begin to cultivate stillness within, even when life around us remains busy. Guided breathing exercises. Let's explore some simple but effective breathing exercises to help you tap into the power of your breath. These practices can be done anytime and anywhere, providing a gateway to inner stillness. Number 1. Box breathing. Box breathing is a technique that involves inhaling, holding the breath, exhaling, and holding again, each for a count of 4. This rhythmic pattern helps to regulate your breath and calm the nervous system. Here's how to practice it. Sit comfortably with your spine straight and your feet flat on the ground. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 4. Hold again for a count of 4. Repeat this cycle for a few minutes, allowing yourself to feel the rhythm of your breath bringing calm and focus. Box breathing can be particularly helpful in moments of acute stress, as it gives the mind something steady to focus on and allows the body to reset. Number 2. For 7-8 breathing. The 4-7-8 breathing technique is known for its relaxing effects, making it ideal before bed or any time you need to unwind. It works by slowing down your breath and creating a gentle, calming rhythm. Here's how to practice it. Close your eyes and inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Exhale slowly and fully through your mouth, making a soft whooshing sound, for a count of 8. Repeat this cycle for at least 4 breaths, allowing yourself to sink into the calming rhythm. This technique not only promotes relaxation, but can also help you feel more grounded, reducing feelings of restlessness and anxiety. Number 3. Diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing, encourages deep, full breaths that expand the diaphragm rather than shallow breaths that only fill the upper chest. This technique maximizes oxygen intake and engages the body's relaxation response. Here's how to practice it. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. Take a deep breath through your nose, focusing on expanding your belly rather than your chest. Feel your belly rise as you inhale. Exhale slowly through your mouth, allowing your belly to fall as you release the air. Continue for several breaths, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your belly. Practicing diaphragmatic breathing throughout the day can keep you calm and centered, especially in stressful situations. It's a natural way to bring awareness back to the body and ease mental tension, finding stillness in every breath. Each of these techniques provides a small but powerful doorway into inner calm. The simple act of bringing awareness to your breath and slowing it down gives you space to reconnect with yourself, to create a pause in the midst of a busy life. Mindful breathing not only regulates the body's stress response, but also fosters presence, a sense of being fully here, in this moment, without distractions. Remember, breathing practices don't have to be long or complicated to be effective. Start with just a few minutes each day, whether it's in the morning to set a peaceful tone, during the day to manage stress, or in the evening to unwind. Over time, these moments of stillness will accumulate, helping you build a foundation of calm and resilience that carries into all areas of life. As you continue on your journey, may mindful breathing become a steadfast companion, a source of clarity, calm, and inner strength in an ever-changing world. In each breath, there is an invitation to return to yourself, to let go of what doesn't serve you, and to rest in the stillness within. Chapter 6. The Power of Single Tasking in a Multitasking World. In today's world, multitasking is often seen as a badge of honor. We're encouraged to juggle numerous tasks, switching between emails, messages, and projects at breakneck speed. Yet, while multitasking might feel productive, research shows that it actually creates mental chaos and reduces our ability to focus, leading to stress, fatigue, and burnout. Single tasking, focusing on one thing at a time, is a powerful antidote to this chaos, enhancing both productivity and inner peace. This chapter explores the myth of multitasking, shares insights from psychological research, and offers practical exercises to help you cultivate the art of single tasking in your daily life. The myth of multitasking and its mental toll. Multitasking is often celebrated as a way to get more done, yet studies reveal that true multitasking, the ability to focus on multiple complex tasks simultaneously, is nearly impossible for the human brain. What we're actually doing when we multitask is called task switching, or rapidly shifting our attention from one task to another. Each time we switch tasks, the brain must reorient itself, using up valuable mental energy and increasing cognitive load. This constant switching creates what psychologists call cognitive overload, which results in scattered thinking, mental fatigue, and reduced performance. When we multitask, our brains are unable to fully engage with any single task. Studies show that it takes an average of 23 minutes to refocus after a distraction. So, when we interrupt one task to respond to an email or check our phones, we're not just losing time, but also diminishing our mental clarity. This fragmentation of focus can lead to heightened stress and anxiety, as our minds become conditioned to a state of constant alertness, always looking for the next task to complete. The benefits of single tasking, focus, and fulfillment. Single tasking, on the other hand, allows the brain to engage deeply with one activity, creating a flow state where time seems to slow down and tasks become more fulfilling. When we focus on a single task, the brain can fully commit its resources, leading to higher productivity and a sense of accomplishment. Studies in psychology and neuroscience have found that single tasking improves memory, enhances creativity, and promotes a sense of inner calm. One powerful study conducted at Stanford University found that participants who focused on one task at a time were more efficient, made fewer errors, and reported feeling less stressed than those who engaged in multitasking. By fully immersing ourselves in a task, we not only perform better, but also experience a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment that comes from being fully present. Single tasking also has a psychological benefit. It helps us feel in control. When we're pulled in multiple directions, our minds struggle to find a sense of grounding, which can lead to feelings of overwhelm. By committing to one thing at a time, we reclaim our mental space and bring order to the chaos, allowing us to work from a place of calm. Practical exercises for embracing single tasking. In a world that encourages multitasking, single tasking is a skill that requires practice. The following exercises are designed to help you cultivate focus, experience the benefits of single tasking, and bring a greater sense of peace and fulfillment into your daily life. Number 1. Mindful tasking. Mindful tasking is the practice of giving one activity your full attention, treating it as an opportunity to engage deeply and mindfully. Choose a simple activity, like washing dishes, drinking a cup of tea, or brushing your teeth, and bring your full awareness to the sensations, sounds, and movements involved. Example: if you're washing dishes, notice the feeling of warm water on your hands, the texture of the sponge, and the sound of water flowing. Pay attention to each movement as you rinse and clean, without allowing your mind to wander to other tasks or thoughts. Reflection. After completing the task, reflect on how it felt to be fully present. Did you feel calmer? Did the task feel more satisfying? Practicing mindful tasking with small activities helps train your mind to focus, making it easier to apply single tasking to larger projects. Number 2. The one thing at a time practice. The one thing at a time approach encourages you to complete tasks sequentially rather than juggling them. Choose one task from your to-do list and commit to completing it before moving on to the next. Set aside distractions. Close unnecessary browser tabs, silence notifications, and give yourself permission to focus on just this one thing. Example: if you're working on a report, resist the urge to check your phone or open additional tabs. Set a timer for 20 to 30 minutes and fully immerse yourself in the task. Allow yourself breaks in between tasks, but avoid starting a new activity until you've finished the one at hand. Reflection. Notice how it feels to complete a task before moving on. Do you feel a greater sense of accomplishment? Are you less fatigued? Over time, This practice can create a rhythm of focus and completion that reduces stress. Number 3. The power of pauses. Pausing between tasks is a simple but effective way to reset your mind and create mental clarity. Rather than jumping from one task to another, take a moment to pause, breathe, and allow your mind to clear. Pauses create space for mental transition, helping the brain shift gears without overwhelming it. Example, when you finish a task, take a short break, stand up, stretch, or take a few deep breaths. During this pause, avoid checking your phone or engaging with other stimuli. Allow your mind to rest before starting the next task. Reflection, pausing may feel like a small action, but it can have a powerful impact on your focus and energy. These mini breaks help you approach each task with a refreshed mind, improving concentration and reducing the risk of burnout. Number 4. Creating a single-tasking environment. Our physical environment can either support or hinder our ability to focus. Create an environment that encourages single-tasking by reducing visual and auditory distractions. Consider organizing your workspace, removing clutter, and limiting the number of open tabs or documents on your screen. Example, dedicate specific areas for certain tasks, if possible. If you're working on a creative project, set up a clutter-free space that inspires focus. Use noise-canceling headphones or play calming background music to create an atmosphere of calm. Reflection. Notice how your environment affects your ability to concentrate. Does a clean, organized space help you focus? Experiment with different setups until you find one that supports your single-tasking goals. Hashtag 5. The 3-minute reset. When you feel overwhelmed or tempted to multitask, try a 3-minute reset. Close your eyes, take deep breaths, and bring your attention to the present. Remind yourself of the task at hand and allow any distracting thoughts to pass by without engaging with them. This short pause can help you recenter and approach the task with renewed focus. Example, use the 3-minute reset anytime you feel your attention wandering or notice an urge to check your phone or switch tasks. Picture yourself letting go of any distractions, grounding yourself in the present. Reflection. The 3-minute reset is a quick and easy way to regain control of your attention. Over time, this practice will help you develop the mental discipline to remain focused and calm, even in demanding situations. The gift of single tasking. Single tasking offers more than just increased productivity. It provides a sense of mental clarity and inner peace. When we focus on one thing at a time, we reclaim our ability to engage deeply, to experience each moment fully, and to work with purpose rather than haste. Embracing single tasking in a multitasking world is an act of self-care, one that preserves our mental well-being and restores a sense of calm. Remember, single tasking doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities or doing less. It's about doing things better, with more presence and intention. As you practice these exercises, you may find that tasks take on a new sense of meaning, that work feels less stressful, and that you experience a deeper fulfillment in both big and small moments. In a world that constantly pulls us outward, single tasking allows us to come back to ourselves, to engage in life from a place of stillness and clarity. Each time you choose to focus on one thing at a time, you are creating space for calm, for joy, and for a life lived with mindful intention. Chapter 7. Creating Sacred Spaces for Stillness. In a world filled with constant movement, creating a dedicated space for stillness is a powerful act of self-care. Our surroundings have a profound impact on our state of mind, and a well-designed, intentional space can help us feel grounded, calm, and connected. A sacred space doesn't need to be elaborate. It can be as simple as a corner of a room, a favorite spot in nature, or even a small nook by a window. What matters is that it provides a refuge where you can reconnect with yourself and find peace. Throughout history, many have sought solace in spaces that allowed for reflection and quiet. In this chapter, we'll explore the importance of creating a sacred space, look at examples of historical figures who cultivated personal sanctuaries, and provide tips for designing your own space for stillness. The importance of sacred spaces. A sacred space serves as a physical anchor for stillness and presence, offering us a place to retreat from the noise and distractions of the outside world. Just as we have designated spaces for eating, working, and socializing, creating a space solely dedicated to rest and reflection sends a powerful message to our minds. This is a place of peace. Whether we use it for meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in silence, Our sacred space becomes a sanctuary where we can reconnect with ourselves. Research shows that our environments directly impact our mental health. Cluttered, noisy, or chaotic spaces can increase stress and make it difficult to relax. Conversely, spaces that are clean, organized, and visually calming help our minds settle. By setting aside a dedicated area for stillness, we create a space where we can escape the pressures of daily life, offering our minds a place to rest and reset. Historical examples of sacred spaces. Many historical figures have used sacred spaces to nurture their creativity, inner peace, and connection to the world. These individuals remind us of the profound benefits that come from creating and honoring spaces dedicated to quiet and contemplation. Henry David Thoreau. Thoreau famously spent 2 years living by Walden Pond, a small lake in Massachusetts, where he sought simplicity and connection with nature. His small cabin by the water was a sanctuary where he could reflect, write, and observe the natural world without distraction. Thoreau's time at Walden Pond inspired his writings on simplicity, self-sufficiency, and mindfulness, showing us the power of a personal sanctuary in nature. Rumi. The Sufi poet Rumi often sought solitude in small, quiet rooms where he could engage in reflection and prayer. For Rumi, these spaces weren't just places of rest. They were places where he connected with his inner self and found inspiration for his poetry. He believed that by retreating into stillness, he could connect more deeply with his spirit, experiencing the profound peace that fueled his poetic wisdom. Virginia Woolf. In her essay A Room of One's Own, Woolf emphasized the importance of having a dedicated space for creative expression. Woolf argued that to write, think, or create freely, one needed a room where they could exist without interruption. Her message resonates with the need for personal space, not only for creative pursuits, but also for cultivating inner stillness and mental clarity. These examples highlight that a sacred space doesn't need to be grand. What matters is the intention behind it, a place that invites you to let go of external demands and journey inward. Designing your own sacred space. Creating a sacred space can be both a personal and practical process. Think of it as designing a space where your mind and spirit can breathe freely. Here are some practical tips to help you create a sanctuary that nurtures calm and encourages stillness. Number 1. Start small and simple. Your sacred space doesn't need to be an entire room. It could be as small as a single chair by a window, a corner of your bedroom, or a cozy spot on your balcony. The key is that it feels set apart from the rest of your space, with the intention of being a refuge. Minimalism is often best for creating a calming space, as clutter can be distracting and disruptive. Aim for simplicity, a few meaningful items, a comfortable seat, or a small rug. Keep your sacred space free of distractions to foster a sense of openness and ease. Number 2. Incorporate elements of nature. Nature has an inherently calming effect, so incorporating natural elements into your space can enhance its serenity. Consider adding a plant, a small fountain, or even a collection of stones or shells. These natural elements bring life and grounding energy into your space, connecting you to the earth. If possible, place your sacred space near a window to benefit from natural light. Sunlight promotes a sense of well-being, and having a view of the outdoors, even if it's just a small patch of sky or a tree, can make your space feel more expansive and connected to nature. Number 3. Add sensory comforts. Engage your senses to create an atmosphere that encourages relaxation and presence. Soft blankets, cushions, or a cozy chair can make your space physically comfortable, while candles, incense, or essential oils can add a calming scent. Sound can also play a role in creating calm. Consider using a small fountain for gentle water sounds, a wind chime, or a playlist of soothing music or nature sounds. Sensory comforts remind you that this space is for rest and ease, signaling to your mind and body to relax. Number 4. Bring in symbols of peace and inspiration. Personalize your sacred space with items that have meaning for you. This could include a favorite book, a small statue, a meaningful photo, or a piece of art that inspires you. These symbols serve as gentle reminders of what matters to you and can inspire reflection. Be mindful not to overload the space with too many objects. Choose a few items that resonate with you deeply, allowing each one to hold space in a way that feels purposeful and peaceful. Number 5. Set boundaries for your sacred space. Make a commitment to yourself that this space will be reserved for calm activities like meditation, journaling, or quiet reflection. By setting boundaries, you ensure that your sacred space remains a refuge, free from work, technology, or any source of stress. Consider making a ritual out of entering your space. Before sitting down, you might light a candle, take a few deep breaths, or set an intention for stillness. These small rituals help signal to your mind that you're entering a space of peace and presence. Number 6. Engage in regular reflection in your sacred space. Use your sacred space as a place for daily or weekly reflection. Spend a few minutes each day sitting quietly, journaling, or practicing mindful breathing. Over time, you may find that these moments of quiet become a cherished part of your routine, helping you feel grounded and centered no matter what's happening around you. Finding stillness in your sacred space. Creating a sacred space is more than just designing a physical area. It's about cultivating an inner sanctuary that you can return to whenever you need a moment of peace. In your sacred space, you give yourself permission to set aside the demands of daily life, to quiet the mind, and to reconnect with what brings you calm and clarity. Your sacred space can serve as a gentle reminder that you deserve rest, that stillness is within reach, and that peace is something you can create. Just as Thoreau found solace by Walden Pond and Rumi found inspiration in his quiet room, you too can cultivate a personal sanctuary that supports your journey to inner stillness. In a world that often demands more and more of us, your sacred space becomes a place of refuge. A small corner where you can reconnect with yourself, ground your spirit, and find the quiet strength to return to the world renewed. Embrace this space as a gift to yourself, a reminder that peace and stillness are always available, waiting for you to come home. Chapter 8. Distraction Detox. Managing external noise and inputs. In our hyperconnected world, we are constantly bombarded by digital distractions. News alerts, social media notifications, emails, and endless streams of content. This constant influx of information can leave us feeling scattered, anxious, and mentally exhausted. The concept of a distraction detox invites us to intentionally step back, reduce external stimuli, and reclaim our focus and mental clarity. By limiting digital noise, we create space for creativity, deeper relationships, and a sense of inner calm. The impact of digital distractions on our lives. Research shows that digital distractions take a toll on our mental health and well-being. A study published by the American Psychological Association found that heavy social media use is associated with increased anxiety, depression, and feelings of loneliness. Constant digital engagement activates the brain's reward pathways, creating a cycle of dependency and instant gratification. But while these quick dopamine hits might feel satisfying in the moment, they leave us craving more, ultimately contributing to stress and dissatisfaction. Beyond mental health, distractions also undermine our creativity and productivity. Studies have shown that even small interruptions, like checking a notification, can disrupt our focus and hinder our ability to think deeply. Our brains require sustained periods of attention to enter a flow state, the deeply immersive and fulfilling mental state where creativity flourishes. When we constantly task switch, we not only fragment our focus, but also reduce our capacity for innovative and meaningful thinking. Furthermore, digital distractions affect our relationships. When we're constantly checking our phones or scrolling through social media, we become less present with the people around us. Eye contact, active listening, and genuine engagement suffer, weakening our connections and creating a sense of distance, even with those we love most. Introducing the distraction detox. A distraction detox is an intentional break from external noise and digital inputs. It's a process of recalibrating our relationship with technology, setting boundaries, and learning to live more mindfully. This detox doesn't mean cutting out technology completely. Rather, it's about making conscious choices to reduce unnecessary distractions and to use digital tools in ways that enhance, rather than detract from, our lives. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you embark on a distraction detox. Number 1. Digital decluttering. Start by clearing out the digital clutter. Begin your distraction detox by decluttering your digital space. Just as physical clutter can create stress, digital clutter can overload your mind and make it harder to focus. Delete unnecessary apps. Remove apps that don't serve a meaningful purpose or that you use out of habit rather than intention. Focus on keeping only the apps that genuinely add value to your life. Organize your home screen. Rearrange your home screen so that only essential apps are immediately visible. You might even consider creating a second screen for non-essential apps, making it more intentional to access them. Unsubscribe from emails. Clear out your inbox by unsubscribing from unnecessary newsletters, promotions, and updates. This will reduce the influx of distractions and help you focus on what truly matters. Number 2. Set boundaries with devices. Take control of your digital time. Establishing boundaries with your devices is essential for reducing digital distractions. Here are some practical ways to regain control over your technology use. Set device-free hours. Choose specific times during the day, such as mornings or evenings, to keep your devices out of reach. During these hours, focus on offline activities like reading, exercising, or spending time with loved ones. Create screen-free zones. Designate certain areas of your home, like the dining table or bedroom, as screen-free zones. This will help you enjoy moments of presence and quiet without the temptation of digital distractions. Limit notifications. Customize your notification settings to allow only essential alerts. Consider turning off social media notifications or setting your phone to Do Not Disturb mode during focused work periods. Number 3. Practice intentional social media use. Social media can be a powerful tool for connection, but it can also be a major source of distraction and stress. By using it mindfully, you can stay connected while minimizing its negative impact. Set time limits. Most smartphones allow you to set daily time limits for specific apps. Decide how much time you want to spend on social media and stick to that limit. Setting these boundaries helps you stay aware of your usage. Unfollow and curate. Review your social media feed and unfollow accounts that don't bring joy, value, or inspiration. Curate your feed to include only the content that aligns with your goals, interests, and values. Use social media with intention. Before opening a social media app, ask yourself why you're using it. Is it to connect with friends, learn something new, or simply to fill time? Using social media with a clear purpose helps you avoid getting sucked into endless scrolling. Number 4. Establish a digital Sabbath. A digital Sabbath, a dedicated day or period each week with no screens, can offer a profound sense of peace and renewal. It's an opportunity to reset, recharge, and focus on real-life connections and activities. Choose your day. Select one day of the week, or even just a few hours, where you completely unplug from devices. Use this time to engage in offline activities like hiking, cooking, or spending time with family and friends. Plan for a successful Sabbath. Inform family and friends about your digital Sabbath so they know you'll be offline. Having a plan in place helps reduce the temptation to check your devices. Reflect on the experience. After your digital Sabbath, take a few moments to reflect on how you feel. Notice any changes in your mood, energy levels, or mental clarity. Many people find that regular digital Sabbaths become something they look forward to as a much-needed break from the noise. Number 5. Reintroduce technology mindfully. After completing your distraction detox, gradually reintroduce technology in a mindful way. Reflect on what you've learned and how your relationship with technology has changed. Ask yourself how you can continue to use technology to support, rather than distract from your goals. Define clear purposes for each tool. Set a specific purpose for each device or app you use, ensuring that it aligns with your values and intentions. Limit passive consumption. Be intentional about how much time you spend passively consuming content. Choose to engage actively with media that enriches your knowledge or well-being. The gift of a distraction detox. A distraction detox can provide clarity, calm, and a deeper sense of purpose. When we step away from constant digital inputs, we find that we have more time to focus on meaningful activities, connect with loved ones, and engage with the present moment. Digital detoxing helps us become more aware of how technology influences our thoughts and actions, empowering us to make choices that prioritize well-being over endless engagement. In the process, we may notice a rekindling of our creativity, the return of our ability to concentrate deeply, and a sense of being more grounded in our lives. We become more attuned to the world around us, noticing the details we often overlook when we're constantly plugged in. A distraction detox isn't just a reset for our devices, it's a reset for our minds. As you reduce the external noise in your life, you create more space for inner stillness, focus, and genuine connection with the people and moments that matter most. Chapter 9. Cultivating Presence in Daily Life. In our busy lives, we often rush from one task to the next, our minds constantly preoccupied with what's coming up or what has already passed. The art of being here now. The practice of living fully in the present moment can transform even the most ordinary activities into moments of peace and connection. Cultivating presence doesn't require a quiet retreat or an isolated space. It's a practice we can carry into daily routines, enriching our lives by bringing stillness into each moment. This chapter explores the benefits of presence, shares the story of a monk who found peace in simplicity, and provides practical exercises to help bring mindfulness into daily life. The power of presence, embracing the here and now. Being present means fully engaging with whatever we are doing right now. Listening without distraction, eating without haste, walking without looking at our phones. When we live in the present moment, we free ourselves from the regrets of the past and the anxieties of the future. The present moment becomes our anchor, connecting us with life as it unfolds, moment by moment. Psychologists have found that presence increases happiness, reduces stress, and enhances our relationships. Studies in positive psychology reveal that people who practice mindfulness, another term for presence, experience greater life satisfaction and emotional resilience. Presence allows us to notice the small wonders in everyday life. The taste of a meal, the sound of rain, the warmth of sunlight. These moments, though small, become sources of joy and fulfillment. The story of a mindful monk. To understand the beauty of presence, let's look at the story of a monk who embraced simplicity as a path to stillness. This monk, who lived in a small mountain monastery, spent his days engaged in seemingly mundane tasks, sweeping the temple grounds, tending to the garden, and preparing simple meals. While his life may have appeared ordinary, he approached each task with full presence, finding joy in every action. One day, a visitor asked him, "How do you find happiness in such simple work?" The monk smiled and replied, "When I sweep, I just sweep. When I eat, I just eat. And when I walk, I just walk." By focusing entirely on each task, the monk found peace in the present moment, unburdened by distractions or worries. This story reminds us that presence is not found in grand experiences, but in the quiet beauty of fully engaging with life's simplest moments. Exercises to cultivate presence in daily life. Cultivating presence is a practice, one that grows over time. Below are exercises designed to help you bring mindfulness into daily routines, transforming ordinary tasks into opportunities for stillness, clarity, and connection. Number 1. Mindful eating. Eating is one of the most universal activities, yet it's often rushed or done mindlessly. Mindful eating invites you to slow down and fully appreciate each bite, turning a simple meal into a moment of presence. Start by observing your food. Notice the colors, textures, and smells. Take a moment to feel gratitude for the food before you. Chew slowly. Focus on each bite, paying attention to the taste, texture, and sensation. Avoid distractions, such as TV or scrolling on your phone. Engage your senses. Notice the flavors, the sensation of each bite, and how your body feels as you eat. By fully immersing yourself in the experience, you'll find a greater sense of satisfaction and calm. Number 2. Mindful walking. Walking is another activity we often do on autopilot. Mindful walking is about experiencing each step fully, grounding yourself in the present as you move. Slow down your pace. Walk at a relaxed pace, paying attention to each step. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the movement of your body, and the rhythm of your breath. Observe your surroundings. As you walk, notice the sights, sounds, and smells around you. Let go of any need to rush or get somewhere. Breathe deeply. Match your breath to your steps, allowing each inhale and exhale to flow naturally. Mindful walking can be a powerful way to find calm, especially during a busy day. Number 3. Single tasking in everyday chores. We often try to multitask, even with small chores, which divides our attention and adds to our stress. Instead, try single tasking, fully focusing on one task at a time. This approach turns chores into mindful practices. Choose a simple task. Whether you're washing dishes, folding laundry, or tidying a room, focus solely on that task. Engage your senses. Notice the sensation of the water as you wash a dish, the texture of the clothes as you fold them, or the sound of the vacuum. By fully immersing yourself, you can transform these routine tasks into moments of calm and satisfaction. Release judgment. Don't rush or criticize how well you're doing the task. Instead, simply focus on the process, letting it unfold naturally. Number 4. The 3-minute breathing space practice. The 3-minute breathing space is a simple exercise that can help you return to the present when you feel overwhelmed or distracted. This technique centers on the breath, helping you reconnect with the present moment. Step 1. 1 minute, close your eyes and notice how you feel. Tune into any thoughts, emotions, or physical sensations. Don't judge, just observe. Step 2. 1 minute, bring your attention to your breath. Notice each inhale and exhale, focusing on the rhythm of your breathing. Step 3. 1 minute, expand your awareness to your entire body. Feel the breath flowing through your body and allow yourself to feel grounded. Reflection. This exercise takes only a few minutes but can help center you, creating a moment of calm whenever you need it. Number 5. Mindful listening. Mindful listening is the practice of being fully present during conversations, giving your complete attention to the person speaking. This practice not only improves relationships, but also helps you develop empathy and connection. Focus on the speaker. As the person speaks, keep your attention on them without planning your response or allowing your mind to wander. Notice body language and tone. Pay attention to their gestures, expressions, and the tone of their voice. Listening mindfully includes more than just words. Pause before responding. After they finish speaking, take a moment before replying. This brief pause allows you to respond thoughtfully and authentically. The gift of presence. By cultivating presence, we shift from a state of doing to a state of being. Daily tasks that might otherwise feel mundane or rushed become opportunities to experience life deeply and fully. Each moment becomes more meaningful when we are truly present, and our lives gain a sense of richness that cannot be achieved through busyness alone. Presence offers us a way to reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. By embracing mindful eating, mindful walking, single tasking, and intentional listening, we can experience moments of stillness and clarity throughout our day. These practices teach us that life's beauty lies in the details and that true fulfillment is found not in the future or the past, but in the simple, often overlooked moments of the present. As we become more skilled at bringing presence into our lives, we find that each moment holds the potential for joy, calm, and connection. Through presence, we cultivate a sense of inner peace that remains with us, allowing us to navigate life with grace, mindfulness, and gratitude. Chapter 10. Learning the Art of Letting Go. In a world where we're encouraged to take charge and stay in control, the idea of letting go can feel counterintuitive. Yet, the desire to control every outcome and detail of our lives often leads to unnecessary stress, tension, and disappointment. Clinging to control creates a constant mental dialogue of what-ifs, endless planning, and second-guessing, which clouds our peace of mind. Letting go, on the other hand, invites us to live with trust and openness, embracing life's unfolding with less resistance and more ease. This chapter explores how letting go can be a pathway to inner peace. We'll dive into psychological insights on surrender and acceptance and provide practical techniques, such as visualization and gratitude practices, to help release control and cultivate stillness. The illusion of control and its impact on inner peace. As humans, we naturally seek stability and predictability. We like knowing what comes next, believing that if we can control the details, we can avoid discomfort, pain, and uncertainty. But life is inherently unpredictable, and when we try to micromanage every aspect of it, we end up fighting a losing battle. This illusion of control tricks us into believing that we can eliminate uncertainty, but it often only amplifies anxiety, stress, and disappointment. Studies in psychology have shown that those who constantly seek control are more likely to experience high levels of anxiety and stress. This tendency, known as control-oriented coping, creates a mental loop of worry and vigilance that disrupts our inner calm. Letting go, by contrast, reduces mental clutter and opens up space for resilience and acceptance. Embracing a mindset of surrender does not mean giving up. It means trusting the process, learning to accept what we cannot change, and focusing our energy on what we can. The power of surrender and acceptance. Letting go is often misunderstood as passive or weak, but it's actually one of the most powerful acts of courage and self-compassion. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means choosing peace over resistance. It's the recognition that, while we can influence certain aspects of our lives, we cannot control everything. By releasing the need to control outcomes, we allow ourselves to adapt, respond with flexibility, and experience life as it unfolds. A popular concept in psychology, known as radical acceptance, teaches that true peace comes from fully embracing reality as it is, without judgment. This approach encourages us to acknowledge life's challenges while accepting that certain things are beyond our control. Surrendering to the flow of life fosters a sense of openness, inviting us to connect with the present moment instead of trying to shape it to fit our desires. Techniques for letting go and finding inner stillness. The art of letting go is a skill we can practice, one that grows stronger over time. Here are some techniques to help you embrace surrender, reduce mental clutter, and cultivate a sense of inner peace. Number 1. Visualization of releasing control. Visualization is a powerful tool for letting go, as it allows us to create mental imagery of releasing burdens. One effective visualization involves imagining your worries or need for control as physical objects that you can let go of. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Visualize yourself holding a bundle or basket filled with your worries, anxieties, or things you're trying to control. Imagine releasing. Picture yourself setting the bundle down or gently releasing it into a river, watching it float away. As you let go, imagine a feeling of lightness and relief washing over you. Anchor the feeling. When the visualization ends, take a moment to notice how your body and mind feel. This exercise reminds you that you can choose to release mental burdens, creating a space for calm. Number 2. Gratitude for the present moment. Gratitude is a powerful practice that shifts our focus from what we want to control to what we appreciate in the present. By focusing on gratitude, we let go of the urge to change or manipulate life's outcomes, finding peace in what already is. Daily gratitude list. Each morning or evening, list 3 things you're grateful for, focusing on small, immediate experiences. This could be anything from the warmth of the sun to a kind word from a friend. Appreciate uncertainties. Try to acknowledge aspects of your life that are uncertain but meaningful. For example, you might say, "I am grateful for the journey, even though I don't know the outcome." This encourages a mindset of trust and acceptance. Gratitude is acceptance. View each act of gratitude as an affirmation that you accept life as it is. This practice fosters a sense of contentment and reduces the impulse to control everything. Number 3. The Letting Go Journal. A letting go journal is a simple but effective tool to explore what you're holding onto and why. Writing about your thoughts can help you process your feelings and recognize where you may be clinging to control. Identify areas of control. Start by listing situations, people, or outcomes you feel compelled to control. Reflect on why these areas matter to you and how trying to control them affects your mental peace. Challenge your beliefs. For each item, ask yourself, what would happen if I let go of control here? Write about the possible outcomes, both positive and negative, and consider how letting go might actually serve you. Set intentions for surrender. Close each journaling session with an intention to let go. For example, write, "Today, I choose to trust that things will unfold as they should." Repeating this intention helps to reinforce a mindset of surrender over time. Number 4. Mindful breathing to release tension. Mindful breathing is a simple but powerful practice for releasing control. By focusing on the breath, you can calm the mind and let go of tension. Take deep, slow breaths. Begin with a few deep breaths, inhaling slowly through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Let each exhale symbolize a release of control, tension, or worry. Focus on the present moment. With each breath, bring your awareness to the present. Notice the sensations in your body and how it feels to be in the now without needing to change or control it. Practice acceptance with each breath. As you breathe, remind yourself that each breath is enough. This simple act reinforces the idea that presence, rather than control, is what truly brings peace. Number 5. Embracing uncertainty as growth. Learning to let go also involves embracing uncertainty as part of personal growth. Instead of viewing the unknown as a threat, try to see it as an opportunity to learn and expand. Reframe uncertainty. Remind yourself that uncertainty is natural and that each new experience, no matter how unknown, contributes to your personal growth. Practice affirmations. Use affirmations like, "I trust in life's unfolding," or "I am open to the unknown." These affirmations help shift your mindset, making it easier to release the desire to control. Celebrate small acts of surrender. Notice each time you choose to let go and celebrate it as an act of courage. These small moments build resilience and create a foundation for greater peace. The freedom in letting go. When we let go of control, we release ourselves from a cycle of worry, resistance, and mental clutter. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on our dreams or abandoning responsibility. It means approaching life with openness, allowing space for growth, flexibility, and peace. Surrendering control creates room for acceptance and presence, inviting us to experience life with greater ease and clarity. The art of letting go teaches us to trust the process, to find joy in the unfolding, and to live in harmony with life as it is. By practicing surrender, we reclaim the mental space needed for stillness, allowing us to move forward not with tension, but with peace. Through letting go, we begin to see that life's beauty often lies not in control, but in the freedom to simply be. Chapter 11. Finding Inner Stillness Through Self-Reflection. In the quest for inner stillness, self-reflection is a powerful tool that helps us look inward and explore the depths of our own minds and hearts. It's through self-reflection that we gain insight into our motivations, fears, and desires, coming to understand who we are beneath the surface. While modern life often distracts us from the inner journey, self-reflection offers a path to clarity, self-acceptance, and peace. By taking time to truly know ourselves, we build a foundation for stillness that no external noise can shake. In this chapter, we'll delve into the wisdom of philosophers and mystics who have emphasized the importance of self-knowledge and share practical ways to cultivate inner stillness through practices like journaling and deep questioning. The value of self-reflection, clarity, and inner harmony. Self-reflection is the art of turning inward to examine one's thoughts, feelings, and actions. It allows us to step back from the busyness of life and gain perspective on who we are and what we truly value. In a world where we are often defined by external labels, job titles, achievements, roles, self-reflection offers a way to connect with our authentic selves. When we understand ourselves deeply, we can navigate life with greater clarity, responding to challenges from a place of inner harmony rather than reactive emotion. Many philosophers have emphasized the importance of self-knowledge in the pursuit of peace. Socrates famously said, "Know thyself," suggesting that true wisdom and contentment come from understanding one's own nature. Similarly, the Sufi mystic Rumi taught that the journey to inner peace is found within, not in the external world. These thinkers remind us that self-reflection is not merely an introspective exercise, but a pathway to understanding life and finding contentment. Wisdom from philosophers and mystics on self-knowledge. Across different cultures and times, thinkers, poets, and mystics have spoken about the transformative power of self-reflection. Socrates, the Greek philosopher, believed that self-knowledge is the foundation of wisdom. He urged people to examine their lives and beliefs, suggesting that true happiness comes from aligning one's life with inner truth rather than external values. Rumi, the Sufi poet and mystic Rumi, saw self-reflection as the path to divine connection. He taught that by looking within, we can find peace, love, and the mysteries of the universe itself. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist, believed that self-understanding is essential to mental health and fulfillment. He described the process of individuation, a journey of self-discovery in which we integrate all parts of ourselves, both light and shadow, to become whole. These figures highlight that self-reflection is not a solitary or selfish act, but a profound way of connecting with our true selves, others, and the larger mysteries of life. Practical practices for self-reflection. Engaging in self-reflective practices allows us to go beyond surface thoughts, helping us understand the motivations and beliefs that shape our actions. Here are some practices to deepen your self-reflection and connect with your authentic self. Number 1. Journaling as a tool for insight. Journaling is a simple yet powerful tool for self-reflection. By putting thoughts into words, we can clarify our feelings, identify patterns, and gain perspective on our inner world. Journaling creates a private space to express our innermost thoughts without fear of judgment, helping us release mental clutter and connect with our true selves. Stream of consciousness writing. Set aside a few minutes each day to write without filtering your thoughts. This unstructured, free-flowing style of writing can reveal hidden feelings and insights that structured thinking might overlook. Reflection prompts. Use questions to guide your journaling, such as, what am I grateful for today? What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? Or, what would I do if I had no fear? These prompts can help you explore different aspects of yourself and uncover new insights. Personal growth journal. Reflect on your personal growth by journaling about recent challenges and how you responded to them. This practice can help you see progress over time and recognize patterns that may need attention. Number 2. Mindful self-inquiry. Mindful self-inquiry is the practice of asking oneself open-ended questions and sitting with the answers, allowing insights to arise naturally. This form of introspection goes beyond intellectual analysis, inviting you to connect with your intuition and inner wisdom. Ask open-ended questions. Begin with questions like, who am I beneath my roles and responsibilities? What truly brings me joy? Or what am I afraid to confront within myself? Sit quietly with each question, letting answers surface without judgment. Observe thoughts and emotions. When difficult emotions arise, such as anger or sadness, approach them with curiosity. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to teach me? By observing without judgment, you gain insights into unresolved issues and areas for growth. Practice acceptance. Self-inquiry can reveal both strengths and vulnerabilities. Approach your discoveries with compassion, accepting yourself without judgment. This acceptance fosters inner peace and reduces the need for self-criticism. Number 3. Deep questioning. The 5 Whys technique. The 5 Whys technique, originally developed for problem-solving in business, can also be a valuable tool for self-reflection. This method involves asking why 5 times to get to the root of a thought or behavior, helping you uncover the deeper motivations behind your actions. Choose an aspect of your life. Select a habit, fear, or belief you'd like to explore. For example, why do I feel anxious about social situations? Ask why 5 times. For each answer, ask why again, diving deeper with each layer. This process often reveals subconscious beliefs or fears. You might discover that your anxiety isn't about the social situation itself, but a deeper concern about acceptance or self-worth. Reflect on the root cause. Once you reach a core answer, consider what actions or mindsets might help address it. This exercise provides clarity and empowers you to make meaningful changes. Number 4. Creating a ritual of self-reflection. Creating a regular ritual for self-reflection, such as a weekly or monthly check-in, can help you stay connected to your inner world. Rituals provide a sense of structure, making it easier to turn self-reflection into a habit. Set aside time and space. Choose a quiet time and a comfortable space where you won't be interrupted. Light a candle, play soft music, or engage in any ritual that helps you center. Reflect on recent experiences. Begin by reflecting on recent events, challenges, or accomplishments. Ask yourself what you learned, what you felt, and how you've grown. Set intentions. Use each self-reflection session to set intentions for the future, focusing on personal growth and self-compassion. Regular reflection not only deepens your connection with yourself, but also helps you live with greater purpose and mindfulness. Number 5. Engaging with nature for inner reflection. Spending time in nature offers a unique environment for self-reflection, where the quiet and beauty of the natural world create space for introspection. Nature has a way of quieting the mind, allowing us to see ourselves with greater clarity and perspective. Go on a reflective walk. Find a park, forest, or beach where you can walk slowly and reflect. As you walk, focus on your breath and observe your surroundings, letting thoughts come and go. Bring a question to nature. Take a question or issue you're reflecting on with you to nature. Walk with the intention of finding clarity and remain open to any insights that arise. The peacefulness of nature often helps bring a fresh perspective. Meditate outdoors. Find a comfortable spot and meditate for a few minutes. Feel the presence of nature around you, letting it calm your mind. The simplicity and beauty of nature provide a mirror for inner stillness. Connecting with your authentic self. Self-reflection is an ongoing journey that brings us closer to our authentic selves, helping us understand our inner motivations, values, and aspirations. As we explore our inner world, we may find that the person we truly are, the person beneath social roles and expectations, is someone we can fully accept and embrace. This self-acceptance creates a profound inner peace, allowing us to live with integrity and confidence. When we take time to know ourselves deeply, we become our own source of guidance and stability, unshaken by external judgments or comparisons. Self-reflection becomes a way to reconnect with our true selves, grounding us in the wisdom and strength that reside within. Through this process, we cultivate a stillness that is not dependent on external circumstances, a stillness that can weather life's changes with grace and resilience. As you continue your journey of self-reflection, may each insight bring you closer to inner peace and acceptance, creating a foundation for lasting stillness in your life. Chapter 12. Nature as a portal to inner peace. In a world dominated by screens, schedules, and artificial environments, nature offers a timeless refuge, a space where we can reconnect with ourselves, rediscover a sense of calm, and find moments of awe and wonder. Spending time in nature is more than just a pleasant escape. It is a powerful practice for mental clarity and inner peace. The simplicity and beauty of the natural world have a profound calming effect on the human mind, grounding us in the present and soothing the stress of modern life. This chapter explores the impact of nature on mental well-being, highlights research on practices like forest bathing, and provides suggestions for incorporating nature into daily life. The calming effect of nature on the mind. Imagine stepping into a forest, surrounded by towering trees, the rustling of leaves, and the scent of earth and greenery. Your breathing slows, your mind feels clearer, and an inexplicable sense of calm washes over you. Nature has a unique ability to quiet mental chatter and reconnect us to a state of inner stillness. Unlike urban environments filled with noise and artificial stimulation, nature's rhythms are gentle, grounding, and restorative. Studies have shown that exposure to natural environments reduces levels of the stress hormone cortisol, lowers blood pressure, and enhances mood. Being in nature activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which counters the body's fight-or-flight response, promoting relaxation and emotional resilience. The experience of awe in nature, whether from a beautiful landscape, a starry sky, or a flowing river, can expand our perspective, helping us feel connected to something larger than ourselves. The science of forest bathing and nature therapy. One of the most researched practices for harnessing nature's calming effects is forest bathing, or Shinrin-yoku, a Japanese practice that involves immersing oneself in a forest environment to absorb its sights, sounds, and scents. Unlike hiking or other physical activities, forest bathing is about being present in nature, slowing down, and observing the environment with all your senses. Research on forest bathing has shown that spending time in forested areas significantly reduces stress and improves mental health. Participants in forest bathing studies have reported lower levels of anxiety, increased focus, and a stronger sense of well-being. Physiologically, forest bathing boosts immune function by increasing natural killer, NK, cell activity, which is attributed to the phytoncides, natural compounds released by trees, that enhance immune health. Studies also suggest that spending time in nature improves creativity, focus, and problem-solving abilities. In one experiment, individuals who spent 4 days in nature showed a 50% improvement in creative problem-solving compared to those who stayed in urban settings. This research underscores the profound impact of nature on both body and mind, highlighting it as an accessible and effective tool for cultivating peace. Ways to incorporate nature into your life. Connecting with nature doesn't require elaborate trips to remote locations. You can bring elements of nature into your life in simple, accessible ways, creating small but meaningful experiences that promote inner calm. Here are some suggestions for incorporating nature into your routine. Number 1. Take short nature walks. Nature walks are a straightforward way to connect with the outdoors. Whether it's a stroll through a nearby park, a walk along a riverbank, or a trail through a forest, regular nature walks offer a gentle way to escape the noise of daily life. Engage your senses. As you walk, focus on the sensations around you, the rustle of leaves, the colors of plants, the smell of the earth. Walk slowly, taking time to observe small details, and let go of mental distractions. Leave devices behind. Resist the urge to bring your phone or headphones, allowing yourself to fully engage with nature. Without the distractions of technology, you can immerse yourself in the present moment. Practice mindfulness. As you walk, pay attention to your breathing and posture. Notice how your body feels with each step, letting the natural environment anchor you in the here and now. Number 2. Forest bathing at local parks. If you're unable to access a large forest, find a quiet area in a local park where you can experience a similar sense of immersion. Forest bathing is less about location and more about the mindful experience of being surrounded by trees and natural elements. Spend time in a wooded area. Find a quiet spot with trees and vegetation, even if it's a small patch within a city park. Sit or stand still for several minutes, breathing deeply and letting the environment surround you. Notice the details. Observe the texture of tree bark, the movement of leaves, and the patterns of sunlight filtering through branches. Let these small observations bring you into a state of calm. Breathe in the natural scents. the scents of plants and soil have been shown to reduce stress. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, allowing the earthy fragrances to enhance your relaxation. Number 3. Create a nature ritual at home. If daily access to outdoor spaces is limited, you can bring nature's peace into your home by creating small rituals that incorporate natural elements. This can be a meaningful way to bring the benefits of nature into your life, even indoors. Set up a nature corner. Designate a small area with plants, rocks, or shells, creating a space that feels peaceful and grounding. Spending just a few moments here each day can help center your mind. Listen to nature sounds. Use recordings of natural sounds like rain, ocean waves, or bird songs to bring a sense of nature into your environment. Listening to these sounds has been shown to calm the mind and lower stress. Practice nature visualization. Close your eyes and visualize a favorite natural place, a beach, forest, or mountain scene. Imagine yourself surrounded by this environment, tuning into its calming influence. Number 4. Observe nature's small details daily. Even in urban settings, nature is present in small ways. The practice of mindful observation can help you connect with nature's beauty, no matter where you are. Notice the sky. Take a moment each day to look at the sky, whether it's filled with clouds, stars, or sunlight. The vastness of the sky offers perspective, reminding you of the bigger picture. Watch wildlife. Observe birds, insects, or animals in your surroundings. Watching the simple rhythms of animals going about their lives can be surprisingly calming and grounding. Appreciate plants. Notice the plants in your environment, whether it's a tree by the sidewalk or flowers in a garden. Nature's resilience and beauty offer reminders of growth and balance. Number 5. Engage in seasonal reflection. Nature's cycles mirror our own need for periods of rest, growth, and renewal. By engaging in seasonal reflection, you can align with these rhythms and cultivate inner stillness. Reflect with the seasons. At the start of each season, take a moment to reflect on its symbolism: spring's renewal, summer's abundance, autumn's harvest, and winter's rest. Consider how these themes relate to your own life. Set seasonal intentions. Use each season as an opportunity to set intentions that support inner peace and growth. For example, during winter, focus on rest and reflection. In spring, emphasize new beginnings and growth. Embrace change. Observe how nature adapts with each season, accepting changes gracefully. Let this inspire you to embrace life's own changes with a sense of calm and openness. Finding inner stillness through nature. Nature serves as a mirror for inner peace, reflecting the calm, patience, and resilience that reside within each of us. When we spend time in natural environments, we're reminded of life's simplicity and beauty, which helps us let go of stress, quiet our minds, and reconnect with the present. Whether it's through regular nature walks, creating small nature rituals at home, or simply observing the world around us, connecting with nature can be a powerful practice for cultivating stillness. By turning to nature as a portal to inner peace, we return to a state of balance, grounded in the rhythms of the natural world. Nature shows us that peace is not something we need to seek. It is something we return to, a state that exists within, waiting to be rediscovered. In the embrace of nature, we find not only stillness, but also a deeper connection to ourselves and the world around us. Chapter 13. Inner Stillness in Relationships, Cultivating Presence with Others. True inner stillness is not just about finding peace within oneself. It's about bringing that peace into every area of life, especially our relationships. When we cultivate inner stillness, we can show up in our relationships with greater presence, patience, and empathy. Stillness allows us to listen deeply, respond thoughtfully, and build connections that are genuine and fulfilling. Rather than reacting impulsively or letting past hurts cloud our communication, inner stillness creates space for mindful engagement, allowing us to connect with others in a way that fosters mutual understanding and respect. In this chapter, we'll explore how inner stillness can improve relationships, share stories of people who have transformed their interactions through mindful presence, and provide practical exercises to help you cultivate stillness within your relationships. How inner stillness enhances relationships. In a world where we're constantly distracted by thoughts, devices, and worries, it's easy to lose presence in our interactions. We might listen half-heartedly, make assumptions based on past experiences, or react defensively when we feel criticized. But inner stillness teaches us to approach relationships with openness, quieting the noise in our minds so we can truly be with others. When we're present, We listen more deeply, catching the nuances of what's being said and what's left unsaid. We become more empathetic, seeing situations from the other person's perspective without judgment. Inner stillness also helps us regulate our emotions, making us less reactive and more patient. Instead of responding out of habit, we can take a moment to consider our words and actions, allowing us to communicate with kindness and clarity. Stories of transforming relationships through stillness. The power of inner stillness in relationships is beautifully illustrated in the stories of people who have transformed their connections by practicing presence and mindful communication. Maria's story, from reactivity to compassionate listening. Maria, a busy professional, often found herself overwhelmed by work and life demands. This stress spilled into her relationships, especially with her teenage daughter, Emma. Their conversations frequently turned into arguments, with Maria quick to interrupt or assume she knew what her daughter was trying to say. After learning about the importance of stillness, Maria began to practice mindful listening. She committed to setting aside her worries and focusing solely on Emma during their conversations. By listening without interruption or judgment, she began to understand Emma's perspective, and their relationship gradually became warmer and more open. Maria's journey shows how stillness can replace reactivity with genuine empathy, creating space for deeper connection. David's story, embracing non-reactive communication. David had a strained relationship with his father, marked by long-standing disagreements and hurt feelings. Conversations often spiraled into debates or passive-aggressive remarks, leaving both of them frustrated. Inspired to change, David began practicing non-reactive communication. Each time he felt himself getting triggered, he took a breath, grounding himself in the present moment before responding. Over time, this practice allowed him to let go of defensiveness and approach his father with patience and understanding. David's commitment to inner stillness allowed him to transform a tense relationship into one rooted in mutual respect. These stories highlight how inner stillness, when applied in relationships, creates an atmosphere of understanding, compassion, and true presence. Practical exercises to bring stillness into relationships. To cultivate stillness in relationships, we need to practice intentional listening, empathy, and patience. Here are exercises to help bring inner calm and presence into your interactions with others. Number 1. Mindful listening practice. Mindful listening is about giving the other person your full attention without mentally preparing your response or interrupting. This practice fosters connection, as the person speaking feels truly heard. Set an intention. Begin each conversation with the intention to listen fully. Remind yourself that your goal is not to fix or solve, but to understand the other person's perspective. Notice body language. Pay attention to nonverbal cues, such as facial expressions, tone of voice, and gestures. These often reveal as much as the words being spoken. Reflect back. After the person has shared, reflect back what you heard, either by summarizing or asking a follow-up question. For example, it sounds like you're feeling emotion. Is that right? This shows that you're engaged and helps clarify the conversation. Number 2. Empathy-building exercise. Walking in their shoes. Practicing empathy helps us understand the feelings and motivations of others, fostering deeper connection and reducing conflict. Pause before reacting. When someone says or does something that triggers an emotional response, pause and take a few deep breaths. This pause allows you to respond from a place of calm rather than defensiveness. Imagine their perspective. Consider what the person might be feeling or what circumstances might have influenced their behavior. This doesn't mean excusing harmful actions, but understanding the context. Ask yourself empathic questions. What might they be feeling right now? Or what are they trying to communicate? Asking these questions can shift your mindset from judgment to compassion, enabling you to respond thoughtfully. Number 3. The sacred pause for non-reactive communication. The sacred pause is a brief moment of stillness before responding, especially during tense or emotional conversations. This simple practice helps prevent reactive responses and encourages calm, respectful dialogue. Notice your initial reaction. Before you respond to a comment, especially one that stirs strong emotions, notice your initial reaction. Acknowledge it without acting on it. Breathe. Take a slow, deep breath. This moment of pause interrupts automatic reactions and allows you to choose your response. Respond mindfully. After the pause, respond with consideration. Focus on sharing your feelings or perspective without placing blame. For example, Use I statements like, I feel emotion when situation, rather than you always. Number 4. Practicing gratitude in relationships. Expressing gratitude regularly helps reinforce positive feelings in relationships. By focusing on what you appreciate in others, you cultivate a mindset of thankfulness and foster positive interactions. Daily gratitude practice. Each day, take a moment to reflect on something you appreciate about the people in your life. This could be a friend's kindness, a partner's support, or a family member's sense of humor. Express your gratitude. Whenever possible, share your gratitude with the person. A simple, heartfelt thank you can go a long way in strengthening bonds. Notice small gestures. Pay attention to small acts of kindness or thoughtfulness from others. By acknowledging these gestures, you reinforce positive behavior and create a cycle of mutual appreciation. Number 5. Create boundaries for compassionate communication. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships. Inner stillness allows you to establish boundaries respectfully, without guilt or fear of conflict. Identify your needs. Reflect on what you need from relationships to feel respected and fulfilled. These could be needs for space, honesty, or understanding. Communicate openly. When setting boundaries, communicate your needs calmly and clearly. For example, I feel more comfortable when we have time to think things over before making decisions. Honor others' boundaries. Just as you need boundaries, so do others. Respect their limits, recognizing that healthy boundaries are mutually beneficial. The gift of stillness in relationships. When we cultivate inner stillness, our relationships become more meaningful and grounded. Stillness creates a safe space for ourselves and others, where we can communicate openly, listen deeply, and connect authentically. By practicing mindful listening, empathy, non-reactive communication, gratitude, and respectful boundaries, we build relationships that honor both our own inner peace and the well-being of those we care about. Inner stillness enables us to engage with others from a place of wholeness, fostering relationships that are rich in compassion, respect, and understanding. It reminds us that the quality of our connections is rooted not in perfection, but in presence, the simple, powerful act of being fully with one another in each moment. Through this practice, we transform our relationships, finding peace not only within ourselves, but in the shared space between us and others. Chapter 14. Facing Challenges with Inner Calm. Life is filled with unexpected challenges, loss, uncertainty, setbacks, and even crises that can shake us to the core. During these difficult times, inner stillness serves as an anchor, offering resilience and mental clarity when we need it most. Instead of reacting out of fear or desperation, cultivating inner calm allows us to approach challenges with perspective, groundedness, and strength. While we cannot avoid hardships entirely, we can transform the way we respond to them. This chapter explores how inner stillness provides stability during turbulent times, sharing stories of individuals who used mindfulness to navigate personal and professional challenges. We'll also provide practical guidance on grounding techniques, acceptance, and perspective shifting, empowering readers to find peace amid the storm. Inner stillness as a foundation for resilience. Inner stillness creates a buffer between us and the chaos around us. In moments of difficulty, the calm we cultivate within helps us observe situations without becoming overwhelmed by them. Instead of spiraling into anxiety or anger, we find a sense of clarity, which allows us to respond intentionally. This stillness doesn't eliminate pain or fear, but helps us face them with greater resilience and acceptance. When we approach challenges with inner calm, we access a part of ourselves that is unshaken by external events. This is the part of us that finds strength in adversity, sees opportunities within setbacks, and holds on to hope even in moments of despair. Many who practice mindfulness describe this inner calm as a steadying force, one that enables them to face even the most difficult experiences with grace and courage. Stories of facing challenges with inner calm. The power of inner stillness is often seen in the stories of people who, despite overwhelming obstacles, managed to remain centered and resilient. Here are a few examples that illustrate how mindfulness and stillness can transform the way we handle life's toughest moments. Sarah's story, navigating personal loss with mindfulness. After losing her mother unexpectedly, Sarah was overcome with grief and struggled to manage her emotions. She found herself consumed by regret, guilt, and a sense of helplessness. Wanting to find peace, she turned to mindfulness as a way of processing her feelings. By practicing stillness, Sarah began to observe her grief without letting it define her every moment. She allowed herself to feel the pain fully, but didn't become lost in it. Through regular meditation, she found a way to honor her loss without being consumed by it. Sarah's journey demonstrates how inner stillness helps us navigate personal loss by providing a space to feel deeply without becoming overwhelmed. James's story, facing career challenges with calm. James, a small business owner, faced major setbacks when his company began to struggle financially. The stress of the situation was constant, and he felt on the verge of panic. Realizing he needed a new approach, James began incorporating mindfulness practices into his daily routine. Each morning, he spent a few minutes in quiet reflection, focusing on his breath and setting an intention to remain calm throughout the day. This practice helped him manage the pressures of his business without succumbing to stress. With a clear mind, he was able to make thoughtful decisions, pivot his business strategy, and eventually find a way through. James's story highlights how mindfulness can bring clarity and resilience to professional challenges. Practical techniques for cultivating calm during challenges. When we encounter difficulties, staying calm and centered requires intentional practices that ground us. Below are several techniques designed to help you maintain inner stillness, resilience, and clarity, even in challenging times. Number 1. Grounding techniques for stability. Grounding is the practice of connecting with the present moment, which can provide stability when facing overwhelming emotions or situations. Focus on your breath. In moments of anxiety, bring your attention to your breath. Practice deep breathing, inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4, and exhaling for 4. This rhythmic breathing calms the nervous system and creates a sense of grounding. Physical grounding. Engage with your senses by feeling the ground beneath your feet, touching an object with texture, or observing your surroundings. This practice shifts your focus away from distressing thoughts and back into the present moment. Mantras for calm. Use a grounding mantra such as "I am safe" or "This moment will pass." Repeating a calming phrase helps anchor you in the present and reinforces a sense of stability. Number 2. Practicing acceptance and letting go of resistance. When we resist difficult situations, we increase our suffering. Practicing acceptance allows us to acknowledge what is beyond our control and focus our energy on what we can influence. Acknowledge without judgment. Begin by acknowledging the reality of the situation without judgment. This can be as simple as saying, "This is difficult, but I will handle it." Accepting the truth of the moment, even if it's painful, brings peace. Embrace the concept of impermanence. Remind yourself that all experiences, even hardships, are temporary. Reflecting on the impermanent nature of life helps us let go of resistance and find patience within ourselves. Release control. Reflect on what is within your control and what isn't. Choose to release control over the uncontrollable aspects of the situation. This mental shift from "what can I change" to "what can I release" fosters inner calm and resilience. Number 3. Perspective shifting for clarity. Shifting perspective allows us to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable obstacles. This practice expands our viewpoint, helping us approach difficulties with an open mind. Ask empowering questions. When facing a challenge, ask questions like, "What can I learn from this?" or "How can this make me stronger?" Shifting from a victim mindset to one of growth and resilience helps you find meaning in adversity. Look for small victories. During difficult times, celebrate small wins and achievements, no matter how minor they may seem. Recognizing small moments of progress builds confidence and reminds you of your resilience. Visualize a positive outcome. Take a few moments each day to imagine the situation resolving in a way that brings peace or growth. While outcomes may vary, this visualization helps reinforce hope and reduces anxiety. Number 4. Mindfulness meditation for emotional balance. Mindfulness meditation teaches us to observe our thoughts and emotions without getting attached to them. By practicing mindfulness, we can navigate challenges with greater emotional balance. Observe without judgment. Sit quietly and focus on your breath. As thoughts and emotions arise, observe them without attaching meaning or judgment. Notice each feeling, whether it's frustration, sadness, or fear, and let it pass like a cloud. Body scan meditation. Use a body scan meditation to release physical tension. Starting from the top of your head, slowly scan each part of your body, releasing any tightness or discomfort. This practice grounds you in your body and helps alleviate stress. Cultivate compassion. During meditation, practice compassion by acknowledging your struggle and offering yourself kindness. Imagine speaking to yourself as you would to a friend in need of support. Number 5. Practicing self-compassion during difficult times. Facing challenges with self-compassion means recognizing your struggle and treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a loved one. Acknowledge your humanity. Remind yourself that everyone faces challenges. Allow yourself to feel pain, frustration, or sadness without judgment. Self-compassion creates a safe space within, helping you cope more effectively. Speak kindly to yourself. When self-critical thoughts arise, counter them with compassionate language. Replace thoughts like, "I should be stronger," with "I am doing my best." Practice self-care. During tough times, prioritize self-care. This could be a warm bath, a comforting book, or time spent in nature. Self-care reinforces the message that you are worthy of care and compassion, especially in challenging moments. The strength of stillness in adversity. Inner stillness doesn't mean we avoid pain or discomfort, but it helps us navigate challenges with greater resilience and grace. By practicing grounding, acceptance, perspective shifting, mindfulness, and self-compassion, we develop the mental and emotional skills to face adversity with clarity and strength. Stillness empowers us to act thoughtfully, respond calmly, and find hope, even in the darkest times. As we embrace inner calm, we come to realize that true strength isn't about avoiding challenges, but about meeting them with a steady heart and an open mind. In this way, we transform difficult experiences into opportunities for growth, emerging from each challenge with a deeper sense of peace, wisdom, and resilience. Chapter 15. Living with Stillness, Turning Practice into Lifestyle. Stillness is not simply a state we visit when life gets overwhelming. It's a way of being that we can integrate into every aspect of our lives. When we cultivate stillness as a daily habit, we move beyond the occasional need for peace and embrace it as our natural state. Living with stillness helps us respond to life with greater clarity, connect more deeply with ourselves and others, and approach each day with a sense of calm, purpose, and presence. In this final chapter, we'll explore how to make stillness a lifestyle, delve into the long-term benefits of practicing inner calm, and introduce a 30-day stillness challenge designed to help you build habits that bring lasting peace and resilience. Integrating stillness as a daily habit. For many of us, stillness is something we seek when life feels chaotic or overwhelming. But what if stillness became as regular as brushing our teeth or preparing a meal? Integrating stillness into daily life allows us to bring calm and clarity into all that we do, making it easier to navigate challenges, savor joyful moments, and live in alignment with our true selves. Making stillness a habit doesn't require drastic changes. It begins with small, intentional practices woven into our routines. This might look like a morning meditation, a quiet walk after lunch, or a few mindful breaths before bed. By finding simple ways to pause and reflect each day, stillness can become our default state, enhancing everything from decision-making to emotional well-being. Long-term benefits of a lifestyle rooted in stillness. A lifestyle grounded in inner stillness offers benefits that go far beyond relaxation. Over time, the practice of stillness transforms not only how we experience life, but also how we understand ourselves and relate to the world. Improved mental health and emotional resilience. Regular stillness helps reduce stress, anxiety, and burnout, promoting a greater sense of well-being. By consistently calming the mind, we build resilience, allowing us to bounce back from challenges with strength and grace. Studies have shown that mindfulness and meditation reduce cortisol levels, improve mood, and increase our capacity for joy, even in difficult times. Deeper self-awareness and personal growth. Stillness creates a space for self-reflection, which fosters a deeper understanding of our motivations, values, and desires. Over time, this leads to greater self-awareness and alignment with our true purpose. As we continue to practice stillness, we naturally become more mindful of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, empowering us to grow and make choices that reflect our authentic selves. Enhanced relationships and empathy. A still mind is more present and attentive, which greatly enhances our relationships. With regular stillness, we become better listeners, more empathetic, and less reactive. This improves our ability to connect with others, creating meaningful relationships based on understanding and mutual respect. A more meaningful connection to life. When stillness becomes a way of life, we experience the world with a heightened sense of appreciation and awe. We become more attuned to life's beauty, from small everyday moments to profound experiences. This deeper connection brings a sense of fulfillment, helping us to live fully in each moment and find purpose beyond external achievements. The 30-Day Stillness Challenge. Building a habit of stillness requires consistency, so this 30-Day Stillness Challenge is designed to help you integrate calm and reflection into your daily life. Each day includes a simple practice to guide you, whether you're at home, work, or on the go. By committing to these practices for 30 days, you'll develop the tools needed to make inner peace a natural part of your lifestyle. Week 1. Cultivating Mindful Awareness. The first week is focused on becoming aware of stillness within your daily activities. These small pauses will help you start to recognize moments of calm throughout the day. Day 1. Start each day with 5 minutes of mindful breathing. Pay attention to each inhale and exhale, allowing yourself to settle into the present moment. Day 2. Take a mindful walk, focusing on the sensations of each step and the world around you. Notice the sights, sounds, and smells without rushing. Day 3. Before meals, take 3 deep breaths to center yourself. Use this pause to practice gratitude for the nourishment in front of you. Day 4. Observe your thoughts for 5 minutes without judgment. Notice them as they come and go, practicing non-attachment. Day 5. Listen deeply to someone without planning your response. Focus fully on their words, letting go of any urge to interrupt. Day 6. Practice single tasking. Choose one activity, like washing dishes or folding laundry, and give it your full attention. Day 7. End the week with a 10-minute self-reflection, writing about any insights you've gained. Week 2. Building Inner Calm. This week's practices focus on bringing inner calm to your mind and emotions. These exercises encourage emotional resilience and self-compassion. Day 8. Begin a daily gratitude practice, listing 3 things you're grateful for each morning. Day 9. Practice a 5-minute body scan, noticing any areas of tension and allowing them to relax. Day 10. When you feel stressed, take a sacred pause. Breathe deeply and let go of any reactive thoughts. Day 11. Reflect on a recent challenge and write about what you learned from it. This promotes resilience and perspective. Day 12. Practice non-judgment by observing your thoughts without labeling them as good or bad. Day 13. Engage in a calming activity like drawing, reading, or spending time in nature and immerse yourself fully in it. Day 14. End the week by setting an intention to carry inner calm into your next week. Week 3. Integrating stillness with others. This week is dedicated to bringing stillness into your interactions with others, enhancing empathy, presence, and mindful communication. Day 15. Set aside time to listen to someone without distractions. Make them feel truly heard. Day 16. Practice compassionate self-talk, replacing self-criticism with understanding and kindness. Day 17. Offer help to someone in need, practicing presence and empathy in your interaction. Day 18. Send a thoughtful message or note to someone you appreciate, expressing gratitude and kindness. Day 19. Pause before responding in conversations, allowing yourself to choose words with intention. Day 20. Reflect on how stillness has influenced your relationships, journaling about any changes. Day 21. Conclude with a 10-minute meditation, focusing on gratitude for your connections. Week 4. Creating a lifestyle of stillness. In this final week, you'll solidify your commitment to stillness by deepening your practices and creating a plan for long-term integration. Day 22. Begin a morning stillness practice, setting aside 5 minutes each morning for quiet reflection. Day 23. Bring nature into your routine, whether through a short outdoor walk or spending time observing plants or animals. Day 24. Limit screen time in the evening to create a peaceful, tech-free space for relaxation. Day 25. Practice the art of letting go by releasing one thought, habit, or activity that no longer serves you. Day 26. Revisit your gratitude list from day 8, reflecting on how your perspective has shifted. Day 27. Design a small, sacred space in your home where you can sit in stillness daily. Day 28. Create a personal mantra for inner peace, like I am calm and resilient, and repeat it throughout the day. Day 29. Meditate on your journey, reflecting on moments of growth and peace. Day 30. Celebrate your commitment to stillness and set intentions for making it a lasting part of your life. Making stillness a way of life. When stillness becomes a part of our daily routine, we cultivate an unshakable foundation for resilience, self-awareness, and joy. It's more than a practice. It becomes a way of being that permeates every area of life. By following this challenge and embracing stillness as a lifestyle, you'll find that peace and presence become natural companions, guiding you through life's ups and downs with grace. As you continue on this path, remember that stillness is always within reach. It is a journey without end, a practice that grows richer with each moment. Living with stillness is not about escaping life's noise. It's about finding a way to stay grounded in the midst of it, connecting with the deep, quiet strength that exists within. Conclusion: embracing the path of inner stillness. As we come to the close of this journey, it's important to remember that the path to inner stillness is just that, a path, not a destination. Inner stillness is a lifelong practice, a gentle invitation to return to yourself over and over, especially in a world that constantly pulls you away. It's a commitment to approach each moment with patience, kindness, and curiosity, allowing the quiet within to guide you through life's inevitable noise and change. Throughout this book, we've explored the many layers of stillness, from the practice of mindful breathing and the beauty of nature's simplicity to finding peace within relationships and facing life's challenges with calm. Each chapter, each practice, has been a stepping stone toward connecting with the essence of who you are beneath the surface. Stillness doesn't mean an absence of challenges or emotions. It means finding the space to navigate them with clarity and strength. When we cultivate this quiet space within, we discover the power to act from a place of choice rather than reaction, to respond to others with compassion, and to live each day with a sense of grounded purpose. In a noisy, fast-paced world, the ability to return to yourself, to your own thoughts, feelings, and values, becomes an invaluable anchor. Inner stillness invites you to turn down the volume on external demands and listen to the wisdom that resides within. It allows you to experience life more deeply, to be present in your relationships, and to meet each day with a sense of peace that no external circumstances can disrupt. With inner stillness, life becomes richer, more connected, and filled with moments of genuine joy and gratitude. As you continue forward, remember that the practice of stillness is always within reach. It doesn't require perfection or hours of meditation. It's found in small, quiet moments, a mindful breath, a moment of reflection, or a simple pause before responding. Each time you choose stillness, you reaffirm your commitment to living authentically, with a heart open to both the challenges and the beauty of life. Embrace the power of these quiet moments. Let them become your gateway to knowing yourself fully, to finding peace that comes from within, and to living a life aligned with your truest self. In stillness, you find not only calm but also the profound realization that everything you need is already within you, waiting to be uncovered and embraced.